Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. It's great to see you again. It has been so hot here in North Houston, Texas. I've been literally beat down into exhaustion, like extreme fatigue. But we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more because this has also been many years coming. Something that I warned about years ago. I said, something's wrong. Something's very wrong. Watch. Now we're seeing that a lot of reports are coming in. So this is going to be pretty interesting. I want to stop and say hello to everybody like Joseph, MC, Blanca, Sally, Shauna, Janet, and Robin, Diana, Connie, everybody, Sally, Darcy, and Frank. Good evening. I want to encourage everyone to subscribe if you haven't. Also, want to thank everyone who's been generous in supporting this channel. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Links are in the description box still for anything like that. Also, there's links for my friends Daily Excellence and Off Grid with Paula and Adrienne, just in case. All right. Oh, into my backup channels down there. So, y'all ready to get into it? Because I am. What is going on in the Gulf of Mexico now? Do you know how many titles spun off after I made that title for the Gulf of Mexico? After that, you started seeing what is going on with this and what is going on with that. You know, this is a nice catch up. Hello, love and blessings, Kathy. One day at a time. Lori and Patricia. Awesome. So many people coming in. All right, now all of this on the surface tells its story when it's put together. We'll start with the Pemex rig fire in the Gulf of Mexico and oil spill that began on July 7th, where a couple people died, some people were injured. Before that, we had in March of this year, fire. Now think about this, on a decommissioned oil rig on the east side of the Mobile River. Mobile or mobile. Anyway, lately in the Gulf of Mexico, we've been seeing some things, some creatures that are considered rare. Okay, think about that. There's some kind of shift going on down there. We've seen recently a rare pink dolphin, rare rice whale, rare great white shark. That was March 14th, the great white sharks. We've seen endangered species like the American eel washed up on Texas shores January. June 2023, thousands of dead fish wash up in Texas after overheated water chokes them of oxygen. Quintana Beach in Brazoria County, Texas. So, a lot of rare creatures showing up, dead creatures, and they're saying that it's because of the heat down there is killing the oxygen levels, right? What heat? Do you really think it's surface, like from the sun, that is causing all of these creatures that are from way, way, way down to die in mass? Again, it's from below. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Okay. Now, I want to talk to you about diapers, not diapers, diapers. It's spelled like diapers, but it ends in IRS instead of ERS. It's more of a French word, I think. But there can be three kinds: mud, salt, and magmatic. All right. New Orleans, for example, has a salt diaper. All right. Now, there is literature that talks about salt structures of the Gulf of Mexico basin. And some information, this was published in 1968. It says more than 300 diperic structures formed by the intrusion of relatively pure salt are known in Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, Nuevo Leon, Veracruz, Tabasco, and Cuba, or they might say Cuba. In form, the structures are rod-like, domal, anticlinal, and ridge-like, meaning, like that. They rise vertically and increase or decrease with height. Many are capped by residual masses of anhydrite, altered in varied degrees of gypsum, sulfur, and calcite. Modern theory postulates growth resulting from density differences. Density means thickness. The growth resulted from thickness differences between the salt and surrounding sediments by upward movement of the salt through the overlying sediments in response to gravitational inequilibrium. Remember that. You know what equilibrium is? It's like a balance. You've got like equilibrium in your ears and stuff, you know? And also in like a plane. But this is gravitational inequilibrium. It means there's going to be something off. In fact, again, I say again, Houston has its own magnetic anomaly, not just the South Atlantic anomaly. There's one right here in Houston. So, and we also have salt diapirs. Basalt structures remaining at an essentially constant level while surrounding sediments of sedimentary rocks moved around them. So we know that there is movement even with the salt domes. All right, but there's more that you might want to know about these diapirs. You might think, oh, this is so boring. Stick with me. We're going to talk a lot. It helps things make sense. I'll be brief on the science, I promise. But it all goes together when you hear thing after thing after thing. All right. Yes, diapir is a French word. Okay, from an ancient Greek thing to mean to pierce through. It's a type of igneous intrusion. Now, when you think of igneous rock, that means that there was magma, and when it cools, it becomes igneous rock, which indicates that along with these salt diapir areas, because diapirs can also be magmatic, that there is also magma in the Gulf of Mexico somewhere. All right. Igneous intrusion in which a more mobile and ductily deformable material is forced into brittle overlying rocks. Depending on the tectonic environment, there's tectonics in the Gulf. Diapirs can range from idealized mushroom-shaped Raleigh-Taylor instability type structures in regions with low tectonic stress, such as the Gulf of Mexico, to narrow dikes of material that move along tectonically induced fractures in surrounding rock. Now, one thing that you need to understand is that up until now, they've known the Gulf of Mexico tectonics to be what did they say? Where did it say that? Let's say that it was like low tectonics, right? Like it was low tectonic stress. That's what they said. What that means now, when you think of it in terms of how many dormant or sleeping volcanoes have woken, they've waken up. So anything that might have been low stress before is now possibly high stress. And if it is, you would start seeing signs of that they might try to explain away individually in as separate things that aren't connected. You understand? Hello, Paige. I'm so glad to see you. And Bonnie, Patricia, Veronica, Clarissa, everybody's here. That's girl, Belinda. Wonderful. So thankful that everybody's here. God bless all of you. That makes me so happy. I'm so glad. Okay. We'll just keep going. We'll keep going. I don't want to lose you guys. All right. So differential loading causes salt deposits covered by overburdened sediment to rise upward toward the surface and pierce the overburden, forming diapirs. That's what happened. There was some kind of burden. All right. There has to be pressure. All right. Now, I'm going to X out of that for a minute and see where we're supposed to go next. All right. Now, as you know, I started my channel. Well, a lot of you might know because I had a vision about the Gulf of Mexico having a disaster related with Texas and Gulf of Mexico disaster. I could see that there was some kind of boom underneath the water. I felt like it was some kind of tectonic shift. I saw water coming inland And God showed me that this would happen. And when it did, that I was to tell somebody, or just to put it out there, not to divide Israel, that was a warning. And the next one will be the New Madrid, right? And a lot of other people have had visions. It's not as commonly known, but there are a lot of people besides me that have stepped up and said, hey, there's something wrong in the Gulf of Mexico. I had this dream. They didn't get a whole lot of views, but it's out there. And then we find out how the Gulf of Mexico is connected to these faults in the United States, and that these quakes are originating from the Gulf. Now, what I have found, and I've done this in other videos, is I traced years ago, there were transvolcanic routes that crossed through the United States. And the ones in particular that I even reported on, I said there's a volcanic belt that might include the entire deep south, like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, that there's a transvolcanic belt there. There's also a magma river that runs into Dallas coming south through Oklahoma along I-35, their highway, if I'm not mistaken. And it splits in Dallas, heading west towards West Texas, that panhandle, and that's a transvolcanic area, right? The other split goes down through Dallas, and it curves around in different places in Texas, going down, and it goes into Brownsville, right? But when you look at, like, say, the New Madrid and the Mississippi River, did you know there's a volcano right underneath Jackson, Mississippi? All right. The river, the Mississippi River, has flowed backwards before. That was probably, I mean, it was like, what, 100, almost about 200 years ago now. But it was the beginning of something. There is probably some kind of magma river under the Mississippi. Don't quote me on that, but that's my suspicion. All right. Now, Mike from Around the World has also been mentioning coming water events on the way. He even mentioned that people's yards, you'd wake up and there would be water that had just come up without a storm. I saw on somebody's channel in the comments that a lot of people on the East Coast have been waking up to just water come up. It's deep. There wasn't a single drop, and they're saying it wasn't really high tide. It was something else. It's just the water came out of nowhere. That is the beginning, but that's not going to be the end of it. See, eventually the tsunamis are going to start coming in, and all of this is a sign. Now, I didn't miss, even though I wanted to come on so bad, I really have been suffering. Like, I've just been tired. This heat is okay, it's awful. But July 31st, Biden, United States and Saudi Arabia started working on trying to normalize ties with Israel, which is related, in my mind, from my experience from God, to what happens to the United States, right? And that, it seemed like a day or two later, DC was hit with storms so bad that they weren't even hurricane winds, but they knocked down trees that were at least 100 years old. All right. Iran has once again warned regional countries against normalizing relations with Israel as efforts intensify to expand the Abraham Accords to include Saudi Arabia. During his weekly press conference Monday, Nasser Kanani, the spokesperson of Iran's foreign ministry, said the normalization of ties between Saudi Arabia and Israel would harm regional peace and stability. Now, there's those two words. I'm telling you, they look like they're trying to normalize it. What they're doing is they're getting into place, right? They're putting their pieces into place. His remarks came as U.S. President Joe Biden said July 28th that a deal may be on the way after talks his national security advisor held with Saudi officials in Jeddah on the issue. Now I want to move to the Gulf of Mexico dead zone. There is, now if you looked at the picture for this live stream, it showed pretty much the Mississippi River going into, not just ending with, the end of the state of Louisiana, but it went into the Gulf of Mexico right about where Door Point volcano is. And they're saying that the dead zone was born from the Mississippi, right? Putting fresh water in there. But what if it's the other way around? What if the Gulf is so hot that it's affecting the arms? Do you know there's a brine pool in the very center of the Gulf of Mexico? Total salt. Creatures go in, they don't come out, they just kind of fossilized down there. But it's a perfect circle right in the middle of the Gulf. What does that tell you? You know what I'm saying? What happens when that heats up? Oh, hey, Tammy and Adrienne. I'm so glad you guys are all here. Very grateful. I was just watching Logic Before Authority, and there are a lot of people talking about non-quake rumbling. We're going to actually get to that by the end of this video because I'm pretty sure I know what that is. I talked about the water in the Gulf where he's lived. Gulf is unusually blue. It shouldn't be blue. It would be blue like in Galveston because the salt had intruded into the water and there would be a huge salinity difference because these salt pockets are massive. And I'm telling you, when I've experienced when I sent, I didn't really send them, they just were going to Galveston Beach. And they came back saying it's always been salty, but not like this. It was horrific. It dried you out instantly. It's a large amount of salt. Too large. Yes, we're going to talk about all of that. Now, the Gulf of Mexico dead zone, they're talking about depleted oxygen. So it's not just in these news clippings that a bunch of fish washed up because the oxygen is depleted because of the heat down there. The scientists are now monitoring the dead zone. Article came out 3 days ago. They mentioned that the dead zone originated from Louisiana. So really, this is connecting not just really Mississippi and Louisiana to the dead zone. It's connecting the New Madrid fault line. All right. So it would actually hint that something is wrong with the New Madrid. So this could be a different way of looking at it. Now, you add that to the Florida water temps, the fish, those all came up from Texas. So it's Florida and Texas. Now, peak hurricane season in the Gulf has begun in the midst of these crazy high temperatures. Cooler temperatures in our atmosphere are not going to cool the temperatures below our feet. So when those hurricanes start heading our way, they're gonna mow over areas. They're gonna mow them down. Watch. This could be the most dangerous hurricane season anyone's ever seen. Not coincidentally, the last month or two, we've recorded that Door Point volcano in the Gulf south of Louisiana has had quakes in that exact area. We've also in the last year-ish saw the eye of the Gulf where there was literally what looked like to me magma coming out of the water. A huge, huge circumference of it. Little boats look that big next to it. All right, we've seen flesh-eating virus. Warmer temperatures, bacteria will multiply. We've had Galveston earthquake lights. We've had heat dome over Texas and much of the South. People are having heat stroke. I've had heat fatigue. And now you look at this, right? There's an article that came out today. I'm so angry. Texas power prices surge over 800% amid severe heat wave and record demand. So everybody here in Texas for today, I don't know if it's today going on or if it was just for today, but they were saying it started today. 800% surge. Use those solar batteries if you got them. The scorching heat wave in Texas has led to a surge of over 800% in power prices for Sunday, with electricity costs soaring to more than $2,500 per megawatt hour. The extreme weather conditions have pushed demand toward record levels. I thought they got this all fixed, right? Putting immense strain on the state grid. Now fix it. No, but seriously, when you're in a magnetic pole reversal, I told you we'd have grid problems. I told you. I'm just being sassy. Grid operator monitors weather and demand. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas, ERCOT, the state's grid operator, issued a weather watch for Sunday and Monday due to forecasted higher temperatures and potential lower reserves. We are currently at 100 degrees where I'm at. Well, we were when I went on just a minute ago. We were still at 100, maybe 102 in some areas. The temperature should be going down, but they're saying that we should be at 104 tomorrow, 103 the next 3 days after that. And I'm praying and praying. We don't have any rain in sight coming. Yep, surplus. Okay, so if your light bill is $1,000, I just wanted to make sure that all of you had that heads up. Now, on to the unconfirmed shaking across America. Think about where I told you those magma rivers were. That is what I'm pretty sure is going on. It's not just the Gulf of Mexico heating up, it's anything that's connected to it. And the Gulf of Mexico has three arms. One that goes up the east coast around South and North Carolina, Georgia, you know what I'm saying? It goes up there. The other one's New Madrid, and one of the arms goes around the Baytown, Galveston area, coming up to around Shreveport and through Louisiana, going up through Arkansas, right? And then there's that one that comes from Oklahoma down to Dallas. You see what I mean? The shaking doesn't have an epicenter. And it's easy to think of underground drilling, but I don't think that's what it is at all. Not especially those places. No. So they're not only just feeling the shaking, but they're feeling the inertia. That's magma. That's the earth moving underneath you. Okay? And they're also sometimes accompanied by booms, which is scary because that means that this magma, a lot of it could be coming from the mantle, not just the crust, the mantle itself. I also want to let you know that often when USGS is not picking up shaking that is obviously shaking, that I've seen this, I caught this, I did a video about this, that often that means that there's land separation occurring. USGS doesn't pick up land separation shaking. It picks up earthquakes that has an epicenter. 800% of a $1,000 bill would be an additional $8,000. Woohoo! I'm going to be a slave trying to pay that electric bill off. My grandma Deb. Our electric company went to utility commission twice and both times was given rate increases. Wow. Thank you, Adrienne. Yes, hit that thumbs up. Lord told you that we're close to shaking in my area, Hill County, Texas. Speak to Damascus. We're away from us. Well, when it comes to Israel, he's not messing around. The alliances are happening as such. It's coming in peace. I think God sees it. I think he's calling baloney on their attempts to act like this is all peaceful. He sees what they're really doing. We don't see it, but we can see the results in those key places that could divide the United States into pieces. The shaking is building. It's getting there. It's not, and when it comes to magma and the pressure, it takes time for it to get to this point, and we've had that kind of time. We've had it. We might very well be on the cusp of something very teeth rattling. Mm-hmm. Put your dentures in a safe place. Hello, Daryl. Yes, New Madrid, Lou Daddy. I'm so glad to see you, Diana. Everybody, I'm so happy. All right, so when you feel the feeling like you're on a ship and it's just moving, or if you're feeling a little dizziness with nausea, and you just almost like an elevator, like when you're on an elevator kind of feel, you're not sick. Something's wrong. Okay, especially if you're on the eastern side of the United States right now, going into the Gulf of Mexico and on into the Caribbean. All right, you think about, okay, one thing happening, but we're under so much heat. It's unbearable. It's unbearable. You want to talk about the Gulf of Mexico dead zone being monitored by scientists, the Florida water temps, the peak hurricane season, the Door Point volcano quakes, the eye of the Gulf, the earthquake lights in Galveston. You want to talk about the unconfirmed shaking, okay? You think about all of it. You think about how long it's been going on, the rig fires that have started, especially one that's decommissioned. Rare animals from the sea coming up that you don't normally see. No, something is wrong, and it's getting worse. All right. So again, this goes back to the point that I was also trying to make years ago, that eventually there's going to be a population shift away from the coast, and people are just now starting to talk about that. If you live right there on the coast, if you can, move north a little bit, okay? Go in 50, 90 miles, because the amount of that the water comes in is going to vary. And when it comes to tsunamis, sometimes you don't just get one wave and then, another and another. Sometimes these waves can come in from different directions. You're just swallowed by water from every different direction. Boom, 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 like stones in a puddle. All right. Be careful. Be very, very careful out there. Please be aware. It's so hot out there. It's hot underneath us. It's hot on top. It's hot in the water. And that's not for no reason. And I just want y'all to know. I want you to watch that Gulf. I want you to know what I've been trying to tell you for years. That Gulf is dangerous. And it's going to show you one day. All right? Yeah, it's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. And I'm trying to tell you, the New Madrid isn't the center. It's not ground zero. The Gulf is. And if you're seeing New Madrid acting up, then you look, oh, wait, maybe the Gulf must be bad too. It is. All right. The signs are there. I just want you to know that. Make your peace with God. Make your peace with family along the Gulf. Watch Israel. No, Lion Bay. It could shake it. It would be like little shakes, but it wouldn't be completely earth shaking. What would shake the earth like this? It would have to be something big enough to throw us into a wobble, to warp. What's it called? Our orbit. To tilt our planet, it would have to be something very, very large, something traveling fast, enough to have enough force that would shake our planet, like the whole thing. But CERN by itself, it could, but a small portion. You see, chances are that's not what it is, because CERN is a gate. It is. It really is. Oh, you are very welcome, Lion Bay. The trees here are very green, and so is the grass, more so than usual. I was just saying it yesterday. Ours is all brown. Israel is the timepiece. That's right. I'm in East Idaho as of August. Praise God. Praise God. Amen. Hi, Neo. All right, everybody. Sorry it took me so long, but really, this heat's bad. And this looks like another 8 days, and they're saying it's 103, 104. I'm too old for this. I don't have a pool. Does anybody in the North Houston area hear me and have a pool? All right, everybody. I love you. God bless you. I had a really good time with you tonight. And I've got some other lives lined up. Just be patient. Love you guys. God bless you. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.